Bets, do you want to do an intro?
Not really.
That's it. That's the intro.
Happy 5th birthday, JSRF Bingo.
That's so
Hello,
crazy.
everyone, and welcome to the Bingo Podcast, celebrating 5 years of this bullshit. Can I swear?
Yeah, it was fun.
Okay, cool.
Can you tell them we've never done this before? I'm Eclapricious. I'm the graphic designer for JSRF Bingo. That's about it.
I'm 7th Ace. I am lead tech person for JSRF. I do all the development, and I've played in all 7 seasons.
I have a bit for going last.
Okay, same shit. Right. I'm Ace Bats. I'm the JSRF Future Bingo mandated jester and also the cishet diversity hire. I also host JSRF Future Bingo Pinball Warrior, as well as do a bunch of yelling on streams, such as commentating and announcing matches and all that fun stuff, and whatever nonsense I trick the other organisers into letting me do.
And I'm Twinkachu, and I do everything else.
Okay.
Alright, good bit.
That was my bit. I think my little intro card says that I'm the CEO of Bingo. I'm the lead organizer. I do all of our wrangling players and making sure everyone else is doing their jobs, and then a million other random miscellaneous things.
Okay, so the reason that we are here is because it's the 5th birthday of JSRF Bingo, which is insane. And to celebrate that, we're going to look at the history of JSRF Bingo.
Because there are 5 years of Bingo history now, for some reason.
What started as just a silly little bingo tournament became like a regular thing.
What started as kind of an accident. I was just going to have people play some Bingo, and then everyone was way more interested in it than I expected. And now we're here.
It really is a how did we get here moment.
Right? Like,
It's all autism.
well, yeah, there's that.
True.
Sponsored by autism.
Please sponsor us somebody. Good
Please.
fun. We have good bits.
We have good bits. Please enable us. You will not regret it. Okay,
So I guess we should start at the beginning, right? Season 1.
I'm gonna mute this so that I don't get jump scared by my own or someone else's voice. That's
probably the craziest thing about 5 years of Bingo is half the people that are involved have changed entirely.
I was gonna say this is also incidentally kind of a gender retrospective. In particular, one of the things we wanted to look at is how our tech has evolved and how our stream layout has evolved, because it changed quite a lot.
Yeah, so at this point, this was it. This is all we had. The foundations of something great to come.
Keep a cursor visible on screen.
Yep.
Hey, we had the rules on there. That's pretty good.
Hey, we have the rules, we have team colors, we have a match score, we have everyone's game feed.
We're already past the 50th percentile here.
Yeah, we're doing great.
True.
We've got all the components.
IGT as well.
We have a Bingo XVE now. Yeah,
Right.
so this was before that.
Yeah, so this
How many
was
people were playing on Xbox here?
maybe all of them?
Yeah.
I want to say,
four
I think it was
Xbox.
probably
Yeah.
4 out of 4. That doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, so we have no stream layout to think of, because we weren't planning to stream this at all. We were just going to have people play Bingo, and Ace was like, hey, I'm going to put everyone's feeds on one stream and talk over it. And I was like, wow, that's so smart. You should do that.
Yeah, honestly, that was that's the kind of attitude that got us to where we were. It was we don't need to do it, but what if we did?
But what if we did? Could be fun.
I just like talking about Bingo, and so I wanted to, talk about Bingo, and that's where the missing game came from as well. That's only on my Twitch page.
Oh yeah, this isn't actually the first match. Well, this isn't the first match because Ace is playing in this one, so she can't be teching this match. But there was one secret one before this that is not on YouTube because we reshuffled teams. Yeah. Our layouts have come a long way for sure. Also,
This is bare essentials Bingo.
here, let
There's
me
nothing wrong with that.
jump ahead to some actual gameplay footage so we're not just on the title screen. Yeah, we've got Bingo Sync browser capture. Yeah, I
It's
forgot.
weird looking back because it's like, yeah, there's nothing co-op here. It's just two people
No co-op,
on each
yeah.
team.
No co-op.
playing Bingo.
Yeah.
And I
Be
think
fast
some
in
of
your
the
opponent.
craziest things as well is you're gonna see, like, compared to what we are at currently, this movement is so bad. People are just gonna be stopping in the middle of the place to think where to go.
Oh yeah.
The unlock sequences are bad. Everything about it is just so deeply unoptimized. It's kind of amazing.
This
Even
was-
like the routing off the start of the game. Why was Air 3 just now picked up in Shibuya?
Yeah, this was like when you could win a bingo season genuinely just by thinking like 2 steps ahead instead of sometimes 1.
Just making it up as you go along, yeah.
Yeah. Because everyone was really new to this. And that's kind of originally what I wanted out of bingo, is not that many people were playing it. And I was like, if I give people a dedicated, like, hey, go play bingo, I bet more people will learn how to do that. And so this season, like, no one knows what they're doing because everyone is learning how to play bingo.
Yeah, the only people who really had played bingo extensively before this were Ace Krabby, and then you and Phospho a little bit, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, at this point, Corin was, like, completely new to the game.
Yeah, I think Corin also was, like, new to JSRF speedrunning in general. I think
Yeah.
they had done, like, a little bit of any percent learning, but, like, they were mostly just joining to play bingo.
Yeah, and I think Jammy was pretty new as well at the time.
Yeah.
Bingo has been a, like, good pipeline for people to, like, getting into speedrunning the game, rather than the reverse, which is weird.
Which is, yeah, that was how I got into the game. Like, I learned any percent to get better at bingo. And then I stopped playing any percent.
Because bingo's better.
True. Real. This is, I think this was still Ace putting together something that looks more like a real layout. So we have team color, like, overlays. We have team colors, like, on the layout, but still kind of the just basic, like, we have a bingo board, we have rules, we have a match score, that's kind of it.
A lot of this was, like, text elements in OBS as well, right?
Correct. Almost all of it was.
Yeah.
This was not like a image or anything like that. Just the outline. Oh my god, this is...
Box. Not sponsored.
Yeah!
It
Season
has, like,
1, baby.
Season 1. I think
I didn't put the capture on a different thing. Oh, that's so good.
all of us have gotten better at using OBS since this point, for sure. So Ekla came in and was like, hey, your stream looks terrible. Let me fix that for you.
I just kind of invited myself in.
Yeah. So the thing that is weird about this is that nothing is moving. Like, it looks like the video is paused. And here we have an actual layout. Thank you, Ekla.
Yeah. I mean, for what it is at the time, I like this, but obviously it's much better now. I mean, at the time, I don't think I'd ever really made, like, graphics for anyone else other than myself, so I didn't have, like, that critical lens from other people. And, like, working on bingo gave me, like, constructive criticism from people.
Yeah.
And helped me, like, get way better at graphic design.
Yeah, our audience is very good at making it very clear when, like, something about the layout isn't working. Like, hey, I can't read this. People are good at yelling about that productively.
Yeah, there's always striking the balance between, like, what we can do at any given moment and what we need to do.
Yeah.
As time has gone on, we've gotten better at, like, striking that balance, I think.
We've also pretty significantly expanded our capacity on what we can do. Because, like, this is still...
Yeah.
This is no longer all OBS text elements. Like, this is an image file that is getting put over the game feeds. But none of this is, like, interactive at all. Like, it's just a PNG.
It's all super low tech, but it works. I mean,
But it works.
in the span of the first ever season,
Totally.
it's already looking kind of more what we would expect from a modern, JSRF bingo layout.
Yeah.
The thing that kills me about this one is the wide 0-0 match.
I was just looking at that.
God,
Say
it
that, yeah.
kills me.
Why?
It's so wide.
Why is it like that?
Were we also updating the numbers as the game went on?
Yes,
I was
that
like,
Yes.
Yep, it was manual.
Yeah, 'cause
That's-
it's like 1-0 and 0-0 and all that.
Yeah, and that's why there isn't like a game score, because updating that manually would be insane. Also, Wekken's super red game mods. I miss Wekken so bad. Alright, let's look at some Season 2 layouts.
I suppose it's also worth talking about because Season 2 was the first season on the JS, like the dedicated channel, wasn't it?
Yes, Season...
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we
One
were
was on
using
the
the
JSRF.
JSRF channel.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. I totally forgot about that.
Alright, this is Season 2. We've got actually animated background now, which is cool.
They give us one off season to cook, and Ekla's like, "Oh, we're cooking."
Well, locked in. Yeah.
Also, what was the time gap between season 1 and 2? Because we did like
half a
2
year.
tournaments a
It was
year.
like 6
Yeah.
months at most, yeah, because for the first couple of seasons we were doing 2 seasons a year.
You can see the upcoming matches. This is August, and I think the other one was like March or something
It
like
was
that. So yeah, like
January or February
Or-
even. Yeah.
Yeah, we did kind of like a winter and a summer
Yeah.
tournament for a little while when everybody was locked in at home and couldn't do anything else.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the
that-
other piece of this.
Yeah, we are way more employed now.
So much so.
I mean, I was equal. Weirdly enough, I think I've been equally employed for every season I've been.
roughly the same.
And we've got modders.
Oh God! The modern signature.
This season we got teams starting to do like team bits. This match in particular, actually, we're gonna have both modders bits and Ace Bet's graffiti bits.
Oh, the
I
classic.
forgot about the modern graffiti.
Do we start to have an actual board reader? Because yeah, that's not just Bingo Sync
yeah.
anymore.
We already
This was
moved
the
on from
DDoSing
Bingo Sync.
reader.
I didn't realize we did that early.
Oh yeah, because you you commit crimes.
Forgot about that.
This thing was bad. Like it functioned barely by just going, "Hey Bingo Sync, what's the board state?" And then 1 second later, "Hey Bingo Sync, what's the board state?" "Hey Bingo Sync, what's the board state?" That caused no problems either.
It just broke, and it was because it was just throttled. Like the host, Bingo Sync's host was like, "That's putting a stop to that." Rightly so, fair enough. But we're just like, "What's going on? It's not working."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reminder that Bingo Sync is just hosted on some guy's computer. It's just
Also that.
some dude.
It may have changed since, but at the time, it was definitely just a computer somewhere.
A word about the Bingo Sync reader, right? Ace, that was something that you had used before for something else, and then you adapted it for JSRF, right?
The Heroes of the Storm League that I was running was essentially doing layouts in tech for. It had the ability to have team names and extra information, and so I was running it from there, and then I made my own version that had bingo specific stuff, so it could capture the board and things like that.
It feels like the very, very prototype of where we're at now with Node.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this meant we actually had like points which updated automatically because of the Bingo Sync reader putting out to a text file, which then OBS was reading. So still like everything's still in OBS, but kind of for the first few seasons, we just kept adding stuff into OBS until the layouts got so insane. We were like, we need to do something else.
Like OBS is crying.
It
Also,
literally was.
why on earth did we approve this team color on this background?
Like I said, I got much
Wasn't
better
this
at
the
graphic
Bingo
design
color?
over the course of Bingo.
Wait, what tech did Alice just use to get Cubby? Is this boostless Bustone?
Goodness.
So that would
funny
have
as
been
well.
new
Wow.
at the time, right?
Yeah.
And this actually had a knock-on effect on the any percent speedrun as well. That was the other fun thing about it.
Yeah, Bingo has really helped, I think, just the general level of movement in JSRF get better.
Right before Bingo, I think like 2019 is when I would designate the era of any person as like Krabby's movement revolution, where Krabby just decided that you need to move better in JSRF. So it was the slowdown hops were a big deal, and controlling your speed so much better. and that translated directly to bingo in the next year. So Krabby has a significant impact on both bingo and any percent movement tech at this point.
I feel like bingo also gave people incentive to practice movement in a way that was interesting. Like, if you're practicing getting better at movement for any percent, you're just running the same stretch of space over and over, and that's really boring and not that interesting. And bingo has kind of forced players to think about moving from point A to point B in more dynamic ways, and also in ways that are more fun and more interesting to practice.
Yeah, with any percent, it's you're just doing the same thing over and over again, so you learn everything in kind of a vacuum. And then in bingo, you just kind of have to take everything you know and apply it to the situation.
And it's encouraged people to learn way more about the game, because you actually have a real incentive to know as much as possible about all of the things that are doable in the game.
It feels like any percent is this line that you can take through the game. You will take this line. There's very little to any improv other than just making some mistakes. But in bingo, you can't just take a single line. You have to be able to do so much. And it really makes a big deal as far as just, every bit of knowledge will pay off in some way. You have to show Ace Bat's graffiti here.
Here.
Honestly, there's a point about kind of the pacing of the older games where everyone would just play to board completion, and games would take longer, 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
Partially because nobody could count.
Yeah, that's the other piece. Now people
get as many
are
points as possible to maximize your chance of winning.
yeah, people are much better at figuring out okay, hey, the game is actually over now.
Season 2 was the season where everything became official.
So Season 2 finals as well was the one we streamed on the Bingo-thon.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh, we have some really painful region coloring.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're right.
But it was a step in the right direction.
It turned into something that looked better.
We need to wait to identify objectives easier. So we're okay, yep.
Yeah.
There you go.
And that's us starting to work to think about the challenge of how do we make this much information easy to parse if you're watching on Twitch, where you might not have as high a resolution as the person running the stream does. Okay, how do we...
And also not as much knowledge.
Yeah.
Of the game.
True. Yeah.
How do we make all of this information easy enough to follow for an audience? We
just got a frame boost into perfect shuffle. Yep. So this is a finals that Krabby basically just won everything. Krabby was so much better than everybody else that played this season. It was absurd.
Krabby so good.
Krabby and I were very similar in Season 1, and Krabby just did everything in Season 2. He iterated the movement so much that Season 2 is not super well remembered as far as memorable matches and things, but the tech that has come out of Season 2 is some of the most important stuff. Look at this.
Oh, Kigobaka.
Oh, no.
Never mind. I remember Season 2 for one thing, and that is the sewers movement in the finals.
Yeah.
Oh, Krabby.
Because that just decided the series. One of the big things that we tried to do was become less dependent on other things, other services, and just do everything ourselves.
Yeah.
And have kind of more control. And as we got more and more control, we got a better product, basically.
Yeah.
We even
and
away from Bingo Sync.
That has involved a lot of relatively long-term development projects on our end, with things like making a site to be our own Bingo Sync, and making our entire layout back end. But it lets us get way more creative with what our streams look like, and also with what we're able to do both for players and for the stream itself. And that'll
player experience in Season 2. There wasn't much of a player experience, really. There wasn't much that we could have done for them at the time. Of just
oh my god, that jump.
We didn't have the Bingo XBE, so we didn't have the load equalizer. there was basically nothing for players in terms of like marking squares or anything. It was just like, you've got bingo sync, that's it.
Yeah. Season 1, we were very much figuring things out as we went along, and so this is, I think, the first season where we actually had the chance to sit down and like plan anything and like figure out like what direction we wanted to be moving in.
I mean, we had the channel, we had the Discord, like everyone kind of like the bingo wizards as they are referred to by us specifically.
As us and only us.
Yeah. Kind of that became official. There was like 5 of us, I think, at that point.
Yeah, who else? Oh,
Hydro.
Yeah, because Phospho was theoretically on the organizational team for a little, purely because I was asking them so many questions about what I should do that I had to let them in.
The 5th Beetle.
The secret 5th wizard. Mostly, yeah, Phospho was just like answering questions for me because I had never done anything like this before. So I was like, hey, how should I structure a bracket for this many players? And Phospho was the person who was like, here's probably how you should do this.
Like between like 1 and 2, it's kind of Ecla came on with the graphics. I think I just kind of ended up here. I was just like, hey, I'll yell before every match. And then Ace and Twinkish were already like locked in on, season 1.
Yeah. The thing about this that's also very interesting to me now, as I've gotten more involved in like other larger scale speedrunning events, is that we very accidentally stumbled into the same like organizational system that every other event uses. Like, completely without planning, we have ended up with a tech lead, a design lead, a host, and like mic talent coordinator, and then like a general organizational coordinator, which is exactly how everyone else does it.
The 4 genders.
Exactly.
Yeah, like Bat said, we didn't even have a Discord at that point.
Yeah, we were
using
a Discord group chat.
Yeah, and it was like we were using Jabro's JSRF channel and just running it out of like a random Discord chat.
Yeah. Eventually,
when we started like doing things ourselves.
We moved into another server that all of us were just already in for a while.
Also, we had the stream loading text.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't realize we had that since season 2.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Season 2 was when like you said, I had the off season to really cook, and I was like, all right, I'm going crazy with this.
Yeah. And we've kept so many of the things. Like, they've gone through lots of different iterations, but like a lot of these kind of layout elements, especially like the kind of fun things, like we've kept because we like them a lot. All right, let's look at season 3. Let's keep moving. We've been talking for half an hour and we're at season 2.
Let's go.
So season 3 went crazy. Like season 3 had co-op, so things changed drastically.
Yeah, this is the first season, it feels like, that people decided, I want to not just be good at JSRF Bingo, but insane.
This is also the first season where we start getting, like, newer players, I think. Like, we had gotten a bunch of new people in the community, and lots of them were like, yeah, I'll join in on Bingo. So this is where we get, like, Yamsa and Nago coming back, and John joining in. Like, lots of the people who are well-regarded players at this point joined right around now.
Yeah, it kind of feels like season 1 and 2 were like, I kind of bundle them together as like the pilot.
Yeah.
Season 3 was like, that's when things really kicked into high gear for us.
Yeah, this is when we decided, hey, actually, we're gonna get really good at doing this.
Older veteran players joined in this time as well. Losa and Nay, I think, played the season. Yeah,
because Nay was in the first season in theory and then never actually in practice.
I don't think we ever actually played a game.
I
don't think we ever did.
That was something to do with the lost game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Nay was my teammate originally,
Yeah, Nay had
scheduling conflicts. Yeah,
Nay had to drop out, and so I also dropped out, and we matched Alice and Bats up as a team.
Which had no negative repercussions for Alice Noon's birthday. Happy birthday, Alice.
Happy birthday, Alice. All right, so here we see more like layout things that we've kept doing, like this little menu team graphic is so good, and I think this is the first iteration of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the first time I used it, and I think it kind of goes away and then comes back.
Yeah.
Something I do when I'm designing like a new season is I always go back and look at the old layouts, and I'm like, is there something here that I did that I liked and then never did again for whatever like tech limitation reasons, or like it just didn't fit in or whatever, and try and bring in elements that I liked from older designs and bring them back and improve them. And I think this is one of them.
Yeah. And then let's get into actual like layout. Okay, so this one's pretty similar to. Are we back on Bingo Sync actually?
Yeah, we're back on Bingo Sync because we got rate limited during like semifinals. We had 2 matches in the same day, and the host of Bingo Sync was so mad at us that we got rate limited in between match 1 and 2, so our whole reader was going down.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to fix it at that point, so we lost scoring for most of this season, or like auto scoring and everything, which felt awful. It was such a step backwards that I feel so bad about.
Oh, we've also got 4 points per bingo scoring.
Oh yeah.
I forgot that we did that.
Yeah, that was one of the reasons that I think Season 3 was really different, because games got like way quicker and decided way quicker because of that.
Yeah. Yeah, that was, we were like, okay, we need games to no longer be tieable. And so we changed scoring. Also,
make bingos 2 or 4. Let's go with 4.
What is happening with Krabby's game resolution?
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, so in terms of like the layout and how it looks, this is pretty much where we're at now.
Yeah.
I think we really like landed on a style, and since then it's just been like tweaking bits here and there, adding more information mostly.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we kind of really
hey,
settled
Ekla,
on this is how we want it to look.
Yeah.
Hey, Ekla, I've got this extra new piece of information. How can we fit more crap into our overlay?
How can we pack more information in? We've been able to do that by changing how we run overlays, which we'll get into later, because now we can have text that like rotates through a couple different pieces of information, or it can be toggled, so it's not just on screen all the time. We're no longer on IGT, so we're in co-op now, probably. Nago and Yamsa got really good at figuring out, like, working together as a co-op team, which was kind of a new strategy thing that people had to figure out.
Yeah, because like previously, you know, you're on a team, but 2 people are going to go into 2 completely separate areas and do their own thing. And, you know, it's basically just 2 1v1s at any given time. So this was like the first season where we actually had like, how do we work together and use that to our advantage?
Yeah, and Nago and Yamsa were on that. They really were.
Yeah, it made 2v2 like kind of a completely different game. Because previously you had to figure out like, okay, this player is further away from this objective that we really need to do, but this player has more progress done on it. Like, you have the Kibo tape already, so even if I'm a little closer, like, you actually can get this easier.
I loved the any graffiti square, where the thought process was, okay, one of them has definitely had a massive advantage to this graffiti square, but there could be 2 of us, how about that? And then just going in and doubling up and getting that square from under the nose of the other team.
It added so much like depth of strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
For
we did
sure.
so good we prepped it every season forever.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever even considered going back.
No, I don't think we would. It's, despite the setup pain sometimes, is genuinely just an incredible way to play. It is an absurd amount of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also think it helps to bring newer players in when
Totally.
playing on co-op, because you can just point your teammate in a direction and say, all right, I need you to go pick this tape up for me. Or, you know, come in and spray one half of Shibuya, right? And it doesn't have to be like a super optimal route.
Yeah, with things like rule changes and format changes, and also even with like team balancing, my top priority is always making sure that bingo is as accessible as possible to new players, which is why we tend to do 2v2 seasons. Because I want people who haven't played bingo before to like be able to join and not get completely steamrolled. I think 2v2 has been really, really helpful for that.
Yeah, I think every season that we've played 2v2, we've had not only players who are new to bingo join, but also players who are relatively new to the game.
Yeah, exactly.
This was kind of where we could see that, hey, yeah, maybe something's going to come from these players.
Yeah. Hey, this Yamsa is pretty good at this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think with Yomsa and with John in particular, like, that both of them are competitive, and I think bingo helped, like, give them another way to play the game and satisfy that, like, competitive nature.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. Any percent is literally like, can you get low time and a function of how many runs you can put in, etc. Whereas bingo has so many more axes it works on. I think it's super fun.
You look at any percent and it's like, okay, Yomsa, John, whoever it is, has amazing movement, right? And they know this route really, really well, and they're really consistent. But then when you watch them playing bingo, you see like a different element to that, to like another way that they're good at the game. And I think at the time in season 3, it was something that we didn't have a whole lot of when Nago and Yomsa joined and teamed up, because they both played like competitive like esports, right? They both played TF2, which is why their name was Team Fortress.
Team
and
Fortress.
We didn't really have a lot of that in bingo before then. Was like, these were people who understood like competitive gaming.
And yeah, and from there, we start to see like bingo strategy become a thing that people are interested in figuring out, and in like team dynamics being a thing that people are figuring out. And that, yeah, bingo went from being like, okay, who can do the most weird unlocks, who can navigate around the game the fastest, to like, who can outsmart the other team and also not mess up catastrophically.
Yeah, and there was an element of that in 1v1. And like watching the old games of like Ace and Krabby playing, you had the kind of like the 4D chess going on, but it didn't really translate so much into the tournament until about this point.
Yeah. Oh, hey, we do have a victory screen.
Look at that.
Oh, that was
yeah,
season 3. Yeah.
Also, hey, it's transgender. Okay. I knew we had a victory screen somewhere, it just wasn't on the specific VOD we were looking at. We have the tech to make it better now. Alright, Season 4, we have... This is much more like what our starting screen looks like now. We have...
I love this character select screen.
Yeah.
That's super good.
Yeah, so this was fun.
Stream loading, rate limited by Bingo Sync.
Yeah. Yeah, so because we did 2v2 the season before, I had that idea of like of using one of the elements of the in-game graphics. This time I chose a different one because I knew that we just have one player and that one player was always going to play one character. I love this. Like, this is one of my favorite little things that probably wouldn't get brought back because we just continue to play 2v2 now. But yeah, this is one of my favorite little design thingies.
Yeah, we've got like so this is our one and only full 1v1 season. The other thing that is not actually that major a technical change, but feels like a big change, is that we have rotating graphics on the starting screen because we figured out how to use OBS slideshows. Which is totally not that complicated, but it makes a big difference in how much info we can put on the screen at once.
Do we remember why we did a 1v1 season?
People were asking for it.
Give it a try. Yeah, people wanted it, and we're like, well, sure, why not? We've done 3 seasons of 2v2. Let's give 1v1 a try.
There were, some people in particular were like, I don't like 2v2, and I would like to see what happens if we have a chance to like develop a 1v1 meta in the same way that we have with 2v2, which seemed worth trying once. I don't think we would do it again in like a full season, capacity, but I'm glad we did it once.
Yeah. I like 1v1, and I like how we did it with the mini one-day 1v1 tournament. I think that would be how it would go forward.
Yeah, maybe not in one day again. It would be like a weekend, but...
We also had a few new players this season. We had Suldi and Kev.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And this is... I didn't realize this was when Kev joined us.
Yeah, so we had like a lot of like ever-presence, right? Like, so we had like a, like an established cast at this point, but we were still bringing in like new players. And Kev and Suldi, they played in this tournament.
They sure did.
I remember like season 4 feeling like, we are somehow pulling new players in. How old is Jet Set Radio Future by this point? And it's still getting people coming in and giving it a go. Like,
yeah,
I think I felt like that every season, to be honest. Like, wow, this is like actually still going.
Every time we get new players, it's shocking.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So this will be like a pretty radically different layout because we're in 1v1 now. Hey, our Bingo Sync Reader is back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously a very different layout because we have way fewer game feeds to show.
We have game time now.
We have a timer. We also have this version of the game wins graphic that we've stuck with, which I like much better.
Yeah, we would change that like every season, but
yeah, this general format I think works better than the big match score
visual
number.
Yeah. Also, another fun thing about season 4 was we had the two groups for the round robin.
Yeah,
the tournament structure was slightly different. Because it was 1v1, but also because it just so happened that we had an equal number of European players and American players.
Yeah, so we got to have the North America bracket and the Europe bracket. And the thing I remember...
Time zones got crazy.
Yeah, the thing I remember most about this season, and the part of why we'll never do this again, is that having 2 bracket groups meant that I was teching like twice as many matches every week, and that was exhausting. I think after this season is when we switched to 1 season a year. Because I was like, I need to never do this again.
There are 25 games in this playlist. Like, there's so many.
There was the one game where Yomso and Krabby just played another game because they felt like it, and we streamed it.
Love that for them.
Good for them. We have
that was the finals.
Oh yeah.
We have Daft and Ace doing bingo in person for the first time. Also, do we want to look at that?
Yeah. This was fun. Like, I was up in Daft's location, and we just decided to meet up and play our scheduled bingo match.
Just in person. It was fun.
Now everything is being run locally, so there's no commentators and nothing else. So it's just us yelling, and Daft only has 1 mic, so you can barely hear me, and all sorts of stuff. It was a really, really, really jank setup, but
it worked.
It was in person, which is cool.
Goofy stuff.
Which we've done like 1 other time.
Yeah.
And was also cool, but we can look at that later.
Yeah.
Bingo has brought the community together.
Yeah, I don't think we had any other like crazy tech developments this season, so we can move on if we don't have anything else.
Season 4 just kind of stands on its own as the 1v1 season.
We did a 1v1 season. We wouldn't do it again, but we did it.
I think the tournament structure was what was different about it more than anything else. Like in terms of like tech development, it wasn't
crazy.
Too much going on. This was so fun.
Yeah, the sponsors panel is cute. It's a fun one. Lemon. Oh, this is also the first season where we have like an intro video.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, the stinger and the intro video.
Yeah.
So this is like the original, me doing it, like doing the voiceover and all.
Yeah, this is Bats assigning himself to being our video editor forever.
I remember just thinking, we've got the information of how the game's played, we've got format and scoring and whatnot on the screen at any given time, but there's not really much context beyond that. So I was just like, you know what, I'll just slap together a video, we can put it on before the matches, and it gives that kind of additional context.
Yeah.
And unsurprisingly, very poorly inspired by Professor Genki from the that thing from Saints Row 3.
Oh, Saints Row, yeah.
Super Ethical Reality Climax, I think it was, the game show. I was like, yeah, I
that
like
was
the
so
vibe
good.
of that.
Like, that's how it all starts. Is just,
Yeah.
you have an idea, we say, yeah, that sounds great, have fun with it, and then it'll get iterated on.
If nothing else, we're really excellent bit enablers.
Yeah. I mean, that intro video in particular, I mean, we'll get to it later on, but that I think that evolved in a way that I absolutely adore now.
So we have lots of layout things that are
Points by area.
points by area,
I'm sure
2-point
pointing to
bingo.
those
actual
sources.
Discord overlay, and not just a text sourcing who's on comms.
Points to win exists. Like, this is the first time we get actual information on screen that looks modern.
Yeah, and this,
Like, Season 3 had the look, Season 5 had the information.
and I feel like, unfortunately, we have the information at the expense of the look. I feel like there's too much going on here, and we hadn't quite figured out how to balance that. But we had so much information to work with, which is so exciting.
Yeah. Now, this was... Again, I totally agree. It's too much with the old bingo sync reader still having these stupid outlines that I'm just dying at. Oh my goodness, it's like painful. And we still haven't abbreviated any of the text, like Skydyno platform near starting what? None of the
Yeah.
text fit. Like, we never made the text format fit to like a spectator view. This is literally what you see in Bingo Sync, and that's what we've had the entire time. And it's just starting, now that we've kind of gotten everything else figured out, we go, oh, this does kind of suck. We can make this so much better
Yeah,
after Season 5.
I feel like, I don't know if I could find it in a VOD, but I think this version of the board reader also had the tech person can highlight specific things, which was a very fun feature to have.
Yes.
But we didn't use as well as we could have.
Yeah. Season 8.
It was just, there was a lot that the tech had to do
Yeah.
at this point.
This
'Cause we
was-
just keep bloating up OBS. So,
Yeah.
This is, we are starting to reach the limits of expanding the tech system that we have without changing anything.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
this
we-
is still a holdover from Season 2.
Yeah.
So this is like almost 2 years later, and we're like, okay, something will have to change, and it will. I don't remember Season 5 very well.
Well, the reason that Season 5 didn't stand out is because we have here Team John and Ryomi, or John and Yamsa, who just power washed everything.
that is, yeah. That did
Yeah, I don't
happen.
know how that happened.
Yeah.
I think it was at the time where it's like, oh yeah, as a combination, how bad could it be?
Yeah.
And
They're both new-ish to Bingo, like they've both only
Yeah.
played 1 or 2 seasons. Putting two, like, medium familiar players together is something I'm fine with in most cases, except that we didn't really consider what happens when those, like, medium familiar players are two of the best any percent players that we have.
Yeah. Also, they did level each other up, I feel.
Totally.
Because, like I said, they're so competitive that neither of them would accept the other, playing poorly or, like, not putting the effort in.
Yeah.
at least bingos were only worth 2 points now.
Hey, we're back to...
Yeah, that was
We're into sensibility.
normalcy.
We've made the right changes.
Yeah. Plus 4 bingos were insane. So the idea was that 3s would lead to ties. Because the only way to get an odd number of points was number of squares. So then adding an odd additive could mess it all up. So we had to determine if bingos were worth winning the tiebreaker or losing the tiebreaker. And we opted for winning because that's the name. It's bingo. And it became that Rush Bingo was just the only thing worth doing.
Push B.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we also didn't consider 2v2, especially with co-op, how fast the game would turn into being.
Yes.
Yeah, I could see an argument for having bingos still be worth 4 points specifically in 1v1, but in 2v2 it's completely unreasonable.
Yeah. This is the first season with the equalizer. You can see the black screen and loading.
Yeah.
I
think
Yeah.
mainly from season 3 things, where emulator players could just load into Shibuya faster, and that's
Yeah,
the
that
origin
was-
of the John Shibuya.
We also, at this point, are reaching a critical mass of emulator players rather than hardware players, which makes that load equalizer really important. This was the season where we started talking about AutoMark. I think that we started talking about that as a thing that would be really helpful for player experience around
There's
now.
nothing worse than clicking the square and then it turning the other color, which happened frequently enough.
Yeah, as the game gets faster and higher, not higher stakes, but like,
Yeah, every square matters that much more, and like winning those snipes actually is like critical.
as matches get closer, I guess is
Yeah,
the
that's
phrasing.
exactly it. When strats converge, like everybody knows the Shibuya Air 3 and Shibuya Grind and Shibuya Points, which is stuff like that, all of a sudden came down to milliseconds of, are you clicking it exactly when the first frame comes up? Did you hit a little early? Like that matters. And, while I don't think it was ever used improperly, it still created this aura of this doesn't feel like it's matching the level of play that the players are at.
Yeah.
So that's where we had to develop more.
Like the room for human error was just too great in that aspect when we theoretically would have the power to, regulate that.
Yeah, and it was...
What we did with equalizer, load equalizer.
Yeah, and it was something that like we hadn't really thought was all that necessary until this point, because when players were much newer and when strats were much less advanced, like snipes were way less common, and at this point, like it was happening every match. We were having people picking up the same things at almost the same time.
Yeah, kind of the development of meta, the improvement of people playing. But yeah, like I said about user experience, right? We started to get to the point where the way that the players were experiencing the game was going to be very different to how people watching the stream would be experiencing the game, and we needed to start to reflect that kind of in what we were showing, which is what led to a lot of like our tech advancements after Season 5.
Yeah.
But also AutoMark helps new players a lot, I feel.
Totally.
This is the famous foot pedal season as well.
I was gonna not talk about that.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say it, and I'm not going to bring
Tom.
anything further up, but it does go with the idea of AutoMark that people were saying things were getting so close that stuff like that mattered, and we didn't want that to happen. That's the big deal of it. That's where like some of the perception of it was at, that this is what people were opting to do, and we on our end can do better too.
Yeah.
The
not
idea that
necessary.
saving milliseconds on a click via like any means necessary was even like joked about, was kind of like this needs to be.
We need to address this, yeah. We had kind of the combination of like strategy kind of reaching a new peak and also much more competitive players at this point.
Yeah.
It kind of prompted us to say like, okay, we need to figure out the tech to make this fun, to make this stay fun for everyone. Because when you have to genuinely contend with like, this team might have lost a match because of like click timing, like that stops being fun for everyone really quickly.
Like a lot of our tech advancements were more on the stream end of things, right? It was like making it look better, making it easier for like tech to run the game. The experience for the players, other than co-op coming in, until Season 5 was pretty much the same. It was like you're playing the game, you got Bingo Sync open, you're clicking Square and Bingo Sync. That didn't change over the first 4 seasons really at all. It was only co-op coming in, which was like a slight tech adjustment for people, but once it was set up, you didn't really think about it on the tech side of things as a player. Season 5 introducing the load equalizer was like, here's our first like major player quality of life change.
Yeah. Here's
Console players, we hear you.
Yeah, here's what we can do to make sure that everyone has a chance to be competitively viable, and that, because I feel like that's something that the JSRF speedrunning community at large has tried very hard to be good about is making sure with things like the in-game time mod that the way to get good isn't just to buy a better Xbox or to switch to emulator to get faster loads. Like, we as a community have tried pretty hard to make sure that the way to get good at the speedrun is to get good at the speedrun and not anything else. And I feel like this is the season where Bingo was like, okay, we need to make sure we're doing the same thing too.
This is modern looking gameplay. Like, there's stall launches occurring. These routes are crisp for the graffiti we're watching. We're watching a co-op graffiti route, which is actually incredibly close. Wait, John at the top
this whole game's
left.
like really close. I'm just like sitting here watching this like, damn, this is good bingo.
Yeah. And they missed a tag early on. It's this medium up in the alley up ahead, or in the main street, and nobody knows where it is.
What Jakey went to get that at some point, and John's screen freezing at the worst time.
Rip. Yeah, there's still lots of...
It's right there.
Yep, but it's too late by this point.
Too late, yep.
Yeah.
Oh. So mistakes heavily punished at this point. Like, it was devastating.
Yeah, this
became the norm, right? Like,
Yeah.
people were now expecting to lose a square by a couple of seconds rather than like walking into a level and then the square gets marked and you're like, oh, all right, never mind then.
Yeah, everything gets much closer. People also get better at predicting what the other team is doing. Like, I feel like this is the point where, like, it stops being viable to have no idea what your opponent is doing. Like, if you don't know what they're working on for the whole game, like, you're just gonna get cooked.
Yeah.
Have a psychology PhD, you'd love bingo.
There is an element of that, right? But this game very much became like having a whole strategy for the whole game rather than just, oh, that looks good, we'll do that, and kind of making it up on the fly and adapting to what you're seeing happening at the time. You know, you kind of had to start choosing a plan and understanding how your opponent was going to respond to your plan and planning the whole game out, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think the first time I feel like that happened was like the Season 3 finals, because that's me, John, Yamsa, Nago. Like, that was an absurd kind of finals lineup where that just got pushed so hard, and it became, that level of play became the standard in Season 5 plus.
Yeah.
Like,
this was still in OBS.
Yep.
And a lot of this was still text elements being updated.
Yep. I think at some point in this season we switched to this standings pulling from either a text file or from a website to auto update. Like, this was browser sources, maybe. At least the like win-loss game score was pulling from a web page. But that like was just a very minor quality of life change for the tech person.
Yeah, there's so many things to balance with bingo,
which we have not figured out all the way yet.
This was the season where like pinball actually came into its own. I've got like so much I could talk about. Krabby is the reason that pinball exists at this point. Because
Krabby loves pinball.
Krabby loves pinball.
Season 3, pinball's like a goofy extra thing, but for a mix of like, God, I need to edit all this. Like, what the hell am I doing? And just the idea of 2 seasons a year at the time, I was like, I'm not doing this. But throughout Season 4 and like before Season 5 was like going, Krabby was always like, are we going to have more pinball, more pinball, more pinball? And I was like, you know what? Sure. And this was the first pinball that really had a gimmick as well.
Yeah, because the first pinball was just we gave everyone the same board and to see what happens. Like, it
Everyone
didn't.
had the same board and they had no prep time.
Yeah,
that was the
gimmick,
which people didn't like. And like, fair enough, but also at the time I was like, oh well, if they don't like that, I'm going to make something they really don't like. And then proceeded to make a series of boards that people generally responded positively to. So whether or not that was a success or not is up for interpretation. But yeah, this was like, oops, all defaults and Dogen Spray, because I like Dogen Spray. Make that the center square, see what happens. And, you know, everyone being on the same board. I mean, this all came from just like, hey, I like this one bit in Robot Wars. Shouts to Robot Wars.
How have we made it this far in and we haven't
I
talked
know.
about Robot Wars at all?
One of our number one inspirations being Robot Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you were not around in the subset of the JSRF community that turned into Bingo, in late 2020, we were spending a lot of time hanging out in Discord calls watching Robot Wars together. And so when we put together a tournament, inevitably it looked like Robot Wars.
Yep, it was part of mine and Bat's childhood, and definitely shaped us as people. And then getting to that, just share that with others, and then kind of force it on others was awesome.
If you ever have questions about why anything about Bingo is the way it is, there's a very solid chance the answer is we took it from Robot Wars.
Yeah. I mean, for me, like, Pinball is heavily based off Pinball Warrior from that one season of Robot Wars. In just like the concept of everyone gets the same opportunity, get as many points as you can. And also just the Ace Bats intros every match is very much inspired by parts of the intros for Robot Wars.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the man who thought Mussolini was a type of lasagna, Craig Charles.
And this was also the first season of Pinball, which, being one of two at the time, where Krabby and Ace came together and did the Perfect Pinball project, which has been a staple ever since, really, as well.
Putting that on.
Yeah, people are fiending for like Perfect Pinball at this point.
Yeah.
And the people
It's
who are
my
like not
favorite
super
part.
into pinball. Like even the players who are like, not super into pinball, but I would love to see this done perfectly.
Yeah.
Like you can compare. We were watching Krabby's footage earlier, and you could see the idea of what he was trying to do, and now you're going to see the perfect execution of it. And my favorite part of this is the original idea into the refinement process, which is one of my favorite things in all of gaming. Like, look at this.
Yes.
Imagine if someone did
yes.
this.
Krabby. Triple car hop. Yeah.
So good.
Just
And
to get
that-
right a street.
that was the first thing anybody ever saw from Perfect Pinball, and that's what started it.
No wonder it's
that is-
stuck around forever. Yeah. I feel like also it's just a really, like the concept of pinball is you have no prep time,
Yeah.
and you're working with this board.
Times.
And so it is very interesting to see, okay, well, what does this look like if you have prep time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was season 7, the Pinball for season 7, where I remember I ran it for 7 days, and the first thing I hear is, I can't wait to do Perfect Pinball Project on this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I want to tell you how much of a absolute madman Krabby is. This is done on IGT segmented. I'm going to cow it out, and future Perfect Pinballs are done in quick save.
Yeah.
Krabby is not a coward. The timing on this one was so tight that I said, Krabby, you need to get 2 frame boosts here, and then we can do it. Like, our time for our final goal was like we needed to get it under 15 minutes. That frame boost was mandatory, for example.
That's crazy.
And so I had it all timelined out in Premiere. I was like, Krabby, we have a 15:08. We need to save 8 seconds somewhere. And we're already, this is already as good as it gets in so many ways. And we just kept iterating and iterating, and I just replaced segments over and over again until we
awesome.
cut to 14:59.7.
It's like the purest essence of speedrunning just condensed down into like a smaller time frame
Look at this.
of
This is so
something that's
stupid.
brand new.
This was mandatory, by the way.
Yeah.
It was.
Everything that's
This
happening
a
is
thing that's,
mandatory.
actually good, by the way. You could be doing that in your bingo games. Do that. That's good.
It's stupid, but it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's slightly slower, but it gives you more cans. So if that's a consideration, that's why you do it.
Yeah.
Critical for routing.
Yeah, it's...
it's
Babs,
this
thank you
idea
for
of,
doing
like-
pinball. It's so cool.
Thank
Getting
Krabby for
something
relentlessly
completely
asking
new.
for more.
Getting something completely new and here we go. Oh yeah, that's what I like to see.
That saved
Getting something
4
completely new
seconds.
and just figuring it out. That's what I've loved about speedrunning all the times. I don't spend a lot of time optimizing my runs or like doing a lot of runs and grinding for a new like PB, but the initial like learning of a game and like figuring out routes and routing levels is so much fun to me, and that's what I love about pinball, is like it's the purest essence of that.
Yeah.
I like pinball very much, and like what season 3 was the hey, 2-0s are like really, really quick and we don't actually get to stream very long.
Yeah.
What can we do about that? Hey, why don't we just make more content? And so like pinball just kind of came from that.
JSRF Bingo became content, didn't it? Like
this is the point where it became content.
Say it, but like
but like initially we were just streaming it because we wanted to stream it, and you know, a few JSRF fans would tune in, and most of the people watching the stream in the early seasons were the other people playing the tournament.
Yeah.
And maybe a couple of other like JSRF fans. And in recent years, you know, we've expanded our reach so much more, and people are finding JSRF speedrunning through bingo. And it's more of a product like now. That. Like,
part of our consideration, like, we're kind of considering 3 aspects, I suppose 4 aspects. It's like, how the hell are we going to run this? You know, we've got to make sure we're not creating a rod for our own backs. Then it's like, how do we make it so it's fun for the players? How do we make it so it's fun for people to view? And even within that, it's kind of 2 different subsets of like people that have never seen Jet Set Radio Future Bingo before, plus people who have kind of stuck around and they enjoy watching like bingo. Like there's so many, you know, we're trying to factor all that in at any given time, and I think we do a pretty decent job. Oh, here we go.
Oh,
sorry, I got distracted.
The tower stool launch, the
tower
optimized stool launch. Yeah, the fact that like we went from fence jump to stool launch is cool to like now we have multiple different types of stool launch, and you can pick which one is optimal.
I remember routing this with Krabby and going, Krabby, can you under tower stall launch Kiko Baka into regular stall launch to
pylon warp
to get pylon warp?
Disgusting.
Like, and Krabby was like, yeah, I can do that, and then was like, hey, can I do this? And the
that jump is so precise, by the way.
That
one segment, and he DMs me one day and I'm like, he's like, hey, can I do this in 2 segments? I'm like, yes, please, don't go crazy.
Hey, you could do this in 12 segments and it would be fine.
So he grinded it out until he got under tower and first time Kiko Baka segmented, and then did the second stall launch to pylon warp. Like, I mean, that was 2 segments. It's gross.
That is the perfect Kibo. Like, if you ever needed to show someone like bingo Kibo, that's the clip that you show them.
Yeah.
It's why I love Kibo so much, is because it's the easiest place to just put high risk, high reward squares. Like, yeah, if you can hit like the one trick that lets you skip 90% of the level, go nuts.
This is...
Yeah, honestly, like, so pinball was the highlight of season 5, I think.
Maybe.
I kind of agree with you.
Yeah.
Which again is just kind of an accident. Oops, like...
All of this was an accident. Like,
yeah, this is one accident after another, and now we're done with season 7, looking at season 8, and also there's the pinball IRG. Let's not talk about that. that was the actual accident.
Accidentally made an ARG.
Oops.
Happens.
Oops.
Just got bored.
A lot of bingo is just like, oh, I just got bored and I did this.
Yeah. I think next season we get me being like, hey, I'm bored, and made us custom mix soundtracks for every episode or for every match.
Yeah.
I mean,
now you're stuck with that decision forever.
Yeah, but now I outsource it to other people. Now it's a community effort.
Perfect.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing is like announcement videos for seasons as well.
Oh yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah, we have a lot to talk about in season 6. We should
move along.
Yeah.
Here, let's
take a look.
Let's see, season 6. Here we go. Here's what our standing screen looks like.
Oh yeah, this layout.
Yeah.
This was the Yakuza.
It's so
I played this season. I forgot.
This was also we get more comfortable playing around with layout elements.
Yeah. I mean, I love
Yeah,
that
we were
season
kinda-
6 graffiti icon inspired logo.
So good.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
such
this
a good
is where
logo.
I really started to branch out and try things different.
I feel like season
Instead of
6
just,
is where
like-
all of us collectively like locked in on what we were doing.
Yeah,
This
before it
feels
was
like the
just
start
like
of modern tech.
Yeah.
yeah, it was like we were just iterating a little bit on what we had before now, but this was like we've got plenty of time and we know what we want, so let's build something new.
We have this rotating text display, which seems like a very minor thing, but is evidence that a major layout overhaul has happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, because think of how much space the rules used to take up.
Yeah. So we're officially in Node at this point, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, so this is
Huge shift.
all of the things happening in the layout are no longer text and PNG elements in OBS. This is Ace has developed a system in Node that is making the layouts for us.
Yeah, after talking with Chris Hanel and all that of exactly what he does, I did an interview with him around this time, and it genuinely has changed a lot of where I went with all of this, and so
Yeah.
I used his software, his packages, Node CG, to overhaul everything. Like the board looks, in my opinion, the board looks so much better
It does.
from here on out.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, I have opinions
contrast
on
on
that red, but
yeah, look, contrast and everything aside, we'll deal with it. The fact that we've abbreviated the names a little bit so you don't have the soul number in there cluttering up stuff. All of the areas are now listed at the top and they only have the colors, means that you can get all of that relevant information without us adding anything. And it feels so good.
Yeah, we have lots of new things that are very exciting and have kind of been a long time coming at this point. We also, I feel like this is where we start to strike the balance of all of the information without it being clutter on the screen.
Yeah, everything has its place. Everything's, available when it needs to be available. Everything's kind of there's an element of like priority of like how important is the information, relative to its size and where it's displayed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is where I got good at graphic design.
This is where you got good at graphic design. This is where we got good at figuring out how we wanted layouts to work. This is where we got good at like figuring out what like fun things we wanted to add into our kind of production workflow. Later in the season, we start to have like voice acting. We have custom music. We have more people on commentary. We've talked about all of that already, but like we have all the things at this point.
The difference between season 5 and season 6 is the biggest jump in any season, other than I think 1 to 2. But the fact that it occurred 4 years later, 4, probably 3 years later, at this point is just the culmination of 3 years of work and everything. Watching the players improve, watching us improve, and being driven to do that just did so much for how this all looks now.
We've got the event feed now because we have redone our bingo sync reader setup, so we can like directly display the recent marked squares. Is a really major change to this layout.
I think that's one of the best things we've ever done for the viewer experience.
Yeah, I think that is one of our best ideas.
Woo.
And also just
I mean, it saves the commentators having to play-by-play literally everything that's happening on 4 screens at once. Like,
Yeah.
It just gives you that ability to be like, well, that information's already on screen. I don't need to necessarily highlight it straight away.
And that makes doing commentary more accessible to newer people too, because you have to be less on it because the layout is doing some of the heavy lifting for you.
yeah, like, oh, what just got marked? Oh, it's right there.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Right. No,
Splendid.
absolutely. Being able to reference it as opposed to just being like, oh, I didn't see what that was, goes so far.
Yeah.
It's genuinely just what a big season 6 was. And the thing was, it was matched in player enthusiasm. There are 7 teams this season. This was the biggest 2v2 season ever.
Yeah, this is what, like 14 players?
Yeah.
I forgot this was the season I commissioned art as well for my graffiti.
Yeah.
Like, everybody just stepped up. It's so cool.
Bingo! And yours truly, DJ Professor K, will bring you the lowdown on this event. 2 teams of Rudies are about to race through the streets of Tokyo To to complete their bingo board objectives.
Okay, so we have not actual DJK, but as close as we could get.
Can I like monologue about the story behind that? Because it's like
Go for
Go
it.
for it, it's a good story.
so. I am literally walking home from work, walking through the streets of wherever the heck I am in whatever country I'm in at any given time, and I just have a moment where I think, hey, you know that YouTube channel, Sea of a Gunner, that I'm absolutely obsessed with, and I've absolutely used rips and, you know, one of the evolution arrangements that they did is basically the unofficial theme song for Bingo, Bring It On. Like, yeah, remember that time they did a long-ass live stream with a voice actor doing the role of DJ Professor K? That person's a voice actor. Why did I not consider... Why don't we ask if they'd be interested in some work for doing more DJK voice acting? And so, like, I remember I started an email with, like, hey, I am one of the organizers for a speedrunning bingo tournament based on Jet Set Radio Future. Would you be interested in this?
We give him very loose guidelines, and he, like, takes it and goes crazy. Like, we give him some, like...
Literally.
Yeah, we do like, okay, can you read this video script, and then whatever else you want to do.
Yeah, there was... say bingo, it's like, oh yeah, hey, hot to go bingo.
Yeah.
Yeah, or Bats had the meme line of saying "Happy Birthday, Alice," and he sings "Happy Birthday, Alice Noon," and we have that.
Yeah, we use that, definitely.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he matched our enthusiasm, which is... You can't ask for more than that, really.
No. Never.
And it's thanks to the Ko-Fi. Woohoo!
Yeah, this is also around the time when Bingo got involved enough for us to start saying, okay, maybe having money to support some of this would be helpful.
What feels like a small thing of getting voice acting is an expense. It is a cost. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, server costs and Google Drive space. It's all like, you know, without the Ko-Fi, that becomes
It's
costs
all
for us to run this silly meme tournament.
Yeah.
You know?
It's all small things, but it does add up a little bit, and all our community like funds it completely, which is insane to me.
No, we're so appreciative of it, and we hope that like everybody is so supportive because it's so visible as to the output that you get. Like, Google Drive space is not going to like be super visible, but it helps us so much in just being able to slap all of these intro videos without having to like hyper compress them and things like that. We just have everything sitting in a Google Drive, so we can turn this around even faster and be able to put more stuff up. We get the voice acting, we get, you know, custom domains and everything. Like, that's how we've been able to do all of this, and y'all can see the benefit of it, and that's great.
The servers help the players. The Google Drive storage helps the producers, and the voice acting helps the viewers, right? It goes into every aspect of Bingo.
Mm-hmm. We've gotten very good at turning $5 into fully produced intros for every episode. Like,
You go $5 mode, we give you.
we will cook like crazy.
It is one of those things where occasionally I just have to like pinch myself and remind myself in a way that, hey, yeah, this is a 20-year-old game at this point. I can't remember. It's old. It's getting there. 24. It's a 24-year-old Xbox game that has an extremely overproduced bingo tournament that's 7 seasons deep, and you know, has actual funding to do cool stuff, and it's like,
Yeah.
it's one of those things, I can't explain it to people that don't know
Yeah.
anything about this, but like, it is absolutely incredible.
I was saying earlier that we've kind of stumbled into the same general format that lots of bigger speedrunning events use. The thing that stands out about Bingo is that we're doing that with like a quarter of the people. Like,
Yeah.
we're doing all of this, and it's the four of us and a couple other very involved community members who are willing to do things like make mods and help with tech stuff.
Yeah, like, not to give us all like medals, not to be Obama giving himself a medal and all that, but like,
No, I will absolutely give myself a medal.
yeah, I've said in the past, like, the core like wizards is just us four, but it's like the right four people. I mean, like you were saying, like right at the start, everything just works. It's like,
But all of
you know,
us kind of have an input on those elements as well. So there's an element of constructive criticism and feedback
yeah.
in that system, because we all know enough about everybody else's job.
I have been in charge of several different teams of people throughout my like day job life, and this is the best team I have ever worked with, and it is not close.
Let's go on.
Yeah, I mean, Bingo has led for me into doing some design work for like other people, and I actually did some graphic design for a speedrunning event last year, which was directly through Bingo, right? Like, graphic design's always just been a hobby for me, but then like I got actual actual work out of it because of Bingo, and working with like a larger group of people was like, this is weird. Like,
So
coming
glad
from
that-
a space where Bingo just works, and then going into like a different group of people running a different event, I'm like, it kind of gave me a better appreciation of just how good we are.
Yeah.
You're telling me it can't just work sometimes? Like, insane.
Right? That's
I'm so
where I
glad
was
that
at.
paying you an exposure worked, Ekla.
That came about because of the two of you at GDQ, right? Like, you just went and talked to people, and you were like, hey, Ekla.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the organizer of that thing is someone I have hung out with at GDQ a couple times. And he was like, I need more people who I can go to for layouts. And me and one of our players were both like, well, you should go talk to Ekla because they're the best.
Look at our layout. Like, come on, you know you want to get in contact with them.
Yeah.
Let's go.
JSRF Bingo, it started at a time where the community was building and growing, probably because of the pandemic and because people didn't have anything else to do. During the pandemic, everybody either learned to speedrun or learned to play Dungeons and Dragons. I did both.
Yep.
So yeah, the community was kind of growing at that time. Bingo started, and we had like Ace and Krabby and Loso got involved, and some of like the more veteran JSRF players, but Yayo never really engaged with it all that much. So season 6 rolls around all these years later, and we've brought Yayo into the fold, and I thought that was awesome. Like, and he hit the ground running. He was so enthusiastic about it all.
Yeah,
And I
so
think teaming him up with John really helped with that, because John wouldn't settle for anything less than his best.
yeah.
Yeah.
One of the big things with it is that Yayo has always been kind of Bingo neutral, being like that community. Yayo being the biggest streamer, if you don't know, has some of the most views on JSRF VODs or world records on YouTube. Has streamed it for 10 years at this point. It was enough to get even more interest, and you could see that these people who had really only heard about it suddenly got hyper focused on it and super interested, like everybody seems to do, because it's so damn cool.
Yeah, Yayo is the only person who has made like a real serious attempt at becoming like a JSRF content creator.
Yeah.
And it means that he has his own audience who are a little less involved in the rest of the community. And so getting Yayo in was really helpful for kind of expanding our reach a little bit. And also Yayo was genuinely a very good player. It was really exciting to see him get so locked in.
It was the first time at that scale we could really see the fruits of our labor of 6 seasons of iteration at this point. All of the changes we've made to improve the experience just overall, and seeing all the Yayo's viewers come in and absolutely enjoy it is it just kind of goes to show, hey, we've definitely been on the right track all these seasons.
Yeah, that was, for me, was like having Yayo play in a season for me was like such a big win, because it kind of felt like, we'd kind of broken down a wall a little bit. And yeah, bringing him in felt like a really big win. And it further leveled up the tournament because he played really well and he wanted to keep improving. But also there was that element of like bringing the audience in and new people to engage with it.
Yeah. I mean, I remember the decision to like get involved in bingo because as Ace kind of alluded to, Yayo is like the JSRF content creator basically, in terms of like Twitch streaming and everything. So for Yayo to get involved, to an extent, it also had to make like sense that this is something that the viewers would want to see.
Mm-hmm.
And so like for that decision to be made, it kind of, I think it came down to like a poll at one point, and it was just the point where it's like our reputation actually precedes us to the extent that Yayo's interested in getting involved and put all this enthusiasm and effort, and I think it worked well overall. Yayo played absolutely incredibly this season, and from Yayo's side, I'm sure the content was great as well. Season 6 is the first like post BRC season.
That is the other big change, is we've got a bunch of new players. Yeah, and kind of parallel to that, around this season, with BRC community people kind of joining us, is when we kind of started getting to know like broader speedrunning community people, and they started paying attention to bingo also. So like this season is kind of when we started having an audience that wasn't just our little community. This is when like we started having an audience we could actually like figure out how to present bingo to.
Season 6 in many ways just brought a lot of new life into bingo. Like coming off of season 5 and going, we've done 5 seasons now, like holy hell. And then going into season 6, coming out of season 6 and going, yeah, we could do another 5.
Yeah.
I think that's doable.
I could do this for 5 more years. Yeah.
I honestly think that season 6, outside of 1, obviously, I think season 6 is the most important season of JSRF Bingo ever.
Yeah.
There's so much that happened. I mean, we've been talking about it for however long already, but it really cannot be understated how big season 6 was as a growth point for all of us and just the community in general.
Yeah, I feel like after season 5, for a lot of reasons, we were all a little bit burnt out, and then season 6 just like undid all of that because it was so much fun to work on.
Yeah, I think season 6 was like more involved, and a bit more stressful to run, but
correct,
rewarding.
Yeah. All right.
And then what was Pinball for the season like?
This was the one where all of the squares were tape souls, but it could be any tape soul under that category of soul, which I don't think I can quickly explain, off the top of my head. But you've got air on there, so it's literally go anywhere, pick up a tape, get the air soul, mark whatever square you want.
Is this
it's a very freeform, like?
Is this also our first iteration of team pinball, where you're playing with your teammate?
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, that was one of the big pieces of feedback from previous pinball was, I thought it was going to be a team thing. I think, I'd prefer it to be a team thing. So I was like, I'll give it a try. I'll see what we can do. Because, we've had 2, solo seasons of pinball. Let's give team pinball a try. And something about the format as well, this just really worked for me. I liked seeing the variety of strats, because there's always a risk when you create a board that you've put specific squares in specific spots, and you can't force players to think differently. But this board is so minimal that it gives players just enough for them to think, oh yeah, what can we try? I mean, we've got Shovel and Nago right now doing a co-op unlock for Doganzaka Hill. Every team just kind of thought a bit differently, and that was one of the things from like previous pinballs was like, yeah, there's kind of that clear meta that really comes out in the wash. This was probably the first season I was like, wow, okay, this is, if we play our cards right, we can actually have a board that allows players to kind of have their own unique spin on it.
I feel like this pinball season also like set the standard for what we do with pinball. Like moving forward, like this is kind of what people expect, is that they are going to get a weird game rule or board format that they're going to get to figure out, and that's what pinball is all about, is seeing what everyone does with a weird constraint.
Yeah. I mean, Pinball 3, yeah, exactly. That was when we got weird with it. This is when we got silly with it.
And that doesn't even mention the we started doing pinball outside of bingo as well, like immediately. So there's an entire pinball challenge that you cooked up, Bats, where it was like X graffiti or X souls.
That was the hotfix.
That was only used
wasn't it?
for a couple of events. One of them, I think, was on GDQ Hotfix, though.
This is kind of going back to what Twinkju was saying earlier. We're kind of interacting with more of like the broader speedrunning community. Pinball's my baby, and it's still like part of this really niche speedrunning bingo tournament, right? Like, to me, this is like a huge thing, but I'm fully aware that in the grand scale of the universe, it's not going to be the next esport. But like getting DM like, hey, would you be interested in doing a pinball for Hotfix? I was like, absolutely. Between like this, season 6 pinball and that really did set the kind of the bar for what pinball would be going forward. It's kind of what I wanted out of pinball, but like the first one was just an experiment in can we create a format that just allows for content in the event of a 2-0 shutout. 2 was kind of more, what else can we do with this? This is kind of where pinball really felt like it came into its own. Though I must admit, this is also when my editing for this was still awful. So, God, editing 2 players together like this was terrible.
Of course, we have Perfect Pinball again coming back. So this is when I started recording it because Krabby disappeared into the ether.
This is post-Krabby era.
Like,
07.
Krabby, we missed you.
Krabby, come back.
Oh, please.
When the world needs him most.
He's gonna come back stronger than ever. You wait.
Yeah.
He's been hoarding tech for 2-3 years.
I wouldn't be that surprised if Krabby shows back up and he's like, I have a PhD in bingo now, actually.
It's been in the hyperbolic time chamber.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, this was fun just for Ace doing, doubling up on both sides of the screen. And this is something I just wasn't expecting from anyone because, like, co-op to me is like, this is going to be so much harder for Perfect Pinball to like get coordinated, but Ace just ran with it. Just went for it and figured out what was what.
Yeah.
Season 6 felt like we had so much more freedom because we'd finally kind of unshackled ourselves from some of the older tech. We had a bit of a broader scope in terms of like audience. There was just so much that was new and fresh about season 6. We had so much more room to work with, and we just went hard.
Yeah, after season 4 and 5, I was a little like, I don't know how much longer I can keep doing this because this is a lot of work for something that it feels like a couple of people care about. And then we did this season, and I was like, never mind, we're doing 5 million seasons.
We're
so
actually the greatest.
20 seasons in a movie.
We've moved beyond 6 seasons in a movie. We're doing 20.
Yeah.
I mean, this podcast is turning into a movie.
We're at 2 hours on OBS.
Oh goodness!
And we had so much
this
talk
was
over
gonna be a
5
quick
years.
1 hour thing.
Hey, so did I. Hey, we haven't even started looking at clips.
Oh my god!
All right,
you're so
should we move on?
Let's
to
move on to season 7.
Yeah. So season 7 is what I'm gonna call like the season of refinement.
Yeah, we're locking in.
Actually, we have one new tech, and it's absolutely massive.
Refinement and also overhaul.
Yeah.
But the thing about the one piece of new tech that was introduced was, as a viewer, means nothing to you.
As a player, it's
very
huge,
really-
though.
Yeah, we as at this point it was where we were actively like producing a different experience for players and for the audience like simultaneously and doing really well with both of them.
So yeah, layout looks mostly the same from last season. We've just made some little refinements. Design things are a little bit different, but like we're working with the same general layout, the same general information on the screen.
Hold on. We have the graffiti count, the tape count, area timer.
Timing area.
That's pretty
Oh, that's all new. You're so right.
That's what I was going to say is, real quick before we jump into that, I love the Season 7 logo as well. It's the first time you went away from like solid lines and things like that to really like this cool layout of what looks more graffiti-like almost.
We did have the issue on this layout that team #BarkAtTheMailman did not fit into the box.
So they're #BarkAtMailmen for layout purposes. Yeah.
Which is not my fault.
No. We need to start implementing a max team name length.
Yeah.
Bingo Sync is no more.
Crab emoji.
Crab emoji. Bingo Sync defeated. So visually for viewers and also for the person running the stream and for commentators, the thing that is new are we have all of these stream or overlay indicators that tell us where people are and what they have done. We've got graffiti progress, we've got tape pickup, which is mind-blowing.
I said the event feed was my favorite thing we've ever done. No, this was actually...
this is
so awesome.
And this is possible kind of in conjunction with moving away from Bingo Sync, because that is what lets us like communicate directly with the board event feed. Like that's what lets us do automark. That's what lets us pull this information from players. Like that whole system makes so many little changes possible.
Yeah, the big tech change was being able to write a program that basically monitored the entire game state, and being able to write something that pulled data from their multiplayer feed. So the way they're communicating, we've done multi, also matched with, we were able to hook into that and then be able to read all this information out from their game and then run that in real time to the overlays and be able to turn it into an auto marker system that people have been wanting for like 3 years. The whole thing just was a step up and made a huge difference on, again, available information. We know all the levels, but not everybody does. So we can say, hey, these players are in FRZ, and it says that.
Yeah, and the viewer can cross-reference that with the squares on the board.
Yeah, just give our commentators more ability to create a story that's going on and have the information be provided on screen.
Oh, the graffiti count
This is just silly,
so good.
silly team, right? You know, it's just 4 people doing a silly tournament.
Yeah, I mean, moving over to Node and like really getting to refine it for Season 7 and getting to add all this cool like luxury stuff. Like we were beyond the point of just making everything functional. It was like, now we're really gonna flex and show what we can do. And again, I felt like I learned so much about like design and also like the tech side of design.
Yeah, this is also the point at which all of us have gotten much better at understanding elements of the tech. Like this is, all of us have gotten better at using OBS to its full capability. All of us have gotten better at figuring out how these design elements can interact with the technical requirements of them. Like all of us are starting to figure lots of the tech stuff out.
We're taking each other into consideration as well, even more. Like, I can add something and I'm like, Ecla, do we have space or the capability to do this? Or the reverse, Ecla will come up something and be like, is this viable with the tech we have? We get the splits counter. So I'm in the bottom 0.843 seconds ahead of Vane in this one. Like, it makes creating the story of JSRF Bingo and the story of what happens in a game even easier for the commentators, and it creates it's so cool to be able to have that.
And this is...
And what you said about how, we like communicate with each other and it's like, is this possible? The answer is usually yes, and if it's not yes, it's not yet, but we'll figure it out.
The answer is yes once we figure out this other thing.
And that's getting easier and easier with, you know, the iteration of the tech. It just feels like we can do anything that we want to do just because it's cool.
Yeah, and we've discussed some even crazier things we could do at some point. But at this point, it's just up to like how hard we want to commit to changing things. More than
we
like...
don't want to just change things for the sake of changing things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like doing this it's shown how we kind of landed on what we wanted to do very early on, and the only thing that was stopping us from improving it was like being limited by tech and getting better at, you know, operating the tech and knowing what we were doing and being able to get away from the things that were like bottlenecking us has just enabled us to really, you know, enact that vision that we had all those years ago, right? Like when we started out.
Yeah, I feel like this layout is also us striking a better balance of like displaying all the information without creating like clutter on the layout. Like there is a lot of information happening on this layout, and it's the least overwhelming way to present it.
I think
everything has its place and makes sense.
Yeah.
I think one of my favorite parts is just the cluster of information at the very top. It is bingo, here's a time, here's what they're going for, here's the teams, here's a score, bam. That's it. That's the entire thing you need to know about the game state. If you click on Twitch and just see it running or open a YouTube VOD, that it is right there.
Yeah.
All of it clustered, that's it. It's so good.
It's like right at the center of your screen too.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, and let's for a short bit talk about the gameplay here. We had 2 new players in Fatal and Misk this season, but everybody really felt like they leveled up, especially Shovel this season.
Shovel absolutely locked in this season.
Where we saw players just get very invested in being good at this and not just like movement and everything, but really trying to understand that strategy still matters even more now. And because everyone's so good, like Fatal and Misk had movement equivalent to some of the best players from early seasons, and they are entirely new. Like, there was a lot of stumbling blocks with them, and it still looks miles better than things you see in early seasons. The difference of player quality as well is massive.
Yeah, I feel like as we keep doing this, we also get better at teaching new people to play. Like, as everyone spends more and more time with bingo, like, at this point, there are so many resources that the community has made for new players that makes it's still overwhelming to start out just because that's how bingo works, but it's significantly more accessible than it was in Season 1 or even in Season 4 or 5.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that I think viewers probably won't see, but we have like a YouTube playlist and a spreadsheet which have, you know, every soul in the game, like every objective in the game, and the best way to do it. And, you know, that was a project that I think Corin and Nay worked really, really hard on, the Bingopedia, right? Like, that took a significant amount of time, and that was something that we weren't involved in as the, you know, the organizers of the tournament. That was just something that some of our players and some of the people who were invested in bingo were like, we're gonna do this, and that's amazing.
Yeah, the passion from one end inspires passion elsewhere. Like, if we're checked out, you're not going to get people to do that.
Is there more to say about Season 7? I mean, it's the most recent
Pinball to
season.
cover.
We've got Pinball, and then I also want to talk about the other bingo stuff that we did unrelated to Season 7.
Just the amount of, like, streamlining behind the scenes. Like, I think Pinball in particular, I was about to go on holiday when recording for Pinball was happening, so I was like, I need to get a lot of stuff done really, really quickly. But, you know, with all the tech improvements and 7th Days in particular helping with just making everything as seamless as possible to just get, you know, made, get edited. Like, a lot of the early seasons of Pinball was just basically just pure manual editing, from the timer to the score to trying to sync both players and a board poorly, which is very apparent in those earlier seasons of Pinball. Whereas this, there was a lot, the workflow's improved, but the ability to just have this is like had its own section in the node, didn't it, to do the timer and everything, which just streamlined everything so much and actually made Pinball viable.
Yeah, the rest of the team looked at your workflow and were like, "Oh baby, that's got to change."
Yeah.
Hey, we're gonna fix
First
that.
of all, stop editing like an idiot. Second of all, we can help. Oh yeah, this was the one where you could only mark squares next to what you'd already marked.
Yeah, which is like
this is my favorite one.
An existing bingo format that some other communities use. I think Celeste Bingo in particular is big on this one. But doing it for JSRF was really interesting.
Yeah, I think like Shovel was like, when I explained the concept, it was just like, oh yeah, like Fog of War, and I was like, I don't know what that is, but yeah, sure. It's 3 square to begin with, and then you've got to, have your entire strategy revolve around that first pick. I mean, this was the one where Ace did the actual pinball and then went, I can't wait to do Perfect Pinball, and I can see why, because I absolutely love this Perfect Pinball.
Yeah, that thing you said, that interaction that you have with Shovel, and then also Twink mentioning like Celeste, is something that, because our community has grown, that we have more available to us now. Like JSRF has always kind of existed in its own little bubble for a really, really long time, where you get a lot of people who are like really passionate about JSRF, and that's kind of it. I think in the early days for me in like 2020, 2021, most people running the game played JSRF, and that was it. And then there was like Alice, who ran a million different games, and she was like the one kind of runner who ran multiple games. But now we've got people from the BRC community, people from like other communities, people from just the wider speedrunning community in general. Like, we're pretty well connected with people from GDQ and stuff like that. And I think it's helping to like really level our product up, because we've got other people, other experts in their field, able to provide their input now.
Yeah, one evidence of that was that we started syncing game feeds this season. For better or for worse. The system for it is atrocious, and everybody agrees with it.
What I will say, from having done stream tech work for lots of other people, is that the way everyone does it is atrocious. No one has figured out a good option.
Yeah, like, we can't do anything about it.
Yeah. But it does make the games much more watchable.
Yeah. And it's a lot easier to edit Pinball when I know things are synced.
Yeah.
My god.
And logistically, all of that also is included by the fact that this was the first season we had in our JSRF bingo channels.
Oh, right. Because we didn't do that previously for some reason.
Yeah, everybody it's because, like, Yaya, for example, would want to stream to his own channel and things like that. So we never really did that. And so we gave people a portable OBS instance to be able to work with. And that's, again, just a little bit more streamlining. Now we don't have to have them set up their like stream layout and deal with cropping and different formats and people widescreening and all this. You just stream it on this and it gets taken care of. Like, just more behind the scenes quick stuff to make it even better.
Yeah, and all of that is kind of working towards this goal of making our streaming setup portable and easy to set up enough that eventually someone other than the 4 of us can run streams. Because at the moment, it's kind of, if you've watched any stream from the last 2 or 3 seasons, there is a 95% chance I am teching it. Like, I just have to be available for all of them. And generally I am, and it's fine, but figuring out how to make that a little more flexible is going to be super helpful too.
Yeah.
I mean, like, we joke about, like, how a lot of the intros for this season I, like, recorded while I was actively on holiday in Australia. But, like, you just have to be available to tech matches, like, at the moment.
Yeah.
Which is,
I can do it,
harder.
or Ace can do it if I'm not available and if she isn't playing. We had one match last season that Nay teched and everything kind of exploded, and I had to be on call while I was at work to troubleshoot. Like...
Yeah.
And I literally, like, I took my lunch break and, like, sat there on my phone walking nature setup in the lobby of the building I work in. Which is, you know, not a super viable long-term solution, but it did work for one match.
Yeah, which is
Again, we
wise.
just stumble through this, and it
Yeah.
just happens to work out.
It's just one of those classic bingo moments, like the time where there was something that needed to be updated on the graphics, and I was actively on the motorway, so I had to get my laptop out and like start editing in the car on the motorway.
Okay, so maybe being a team of 4 people has some drawbacks.
But we
But
make
it's
it
the right 4 people that will edit stuff in a car for some reason.
That will leave work to go troubleshoot. Like,
Look, I work remote. I have absolutely skimped on work to do bingo stuff. Like,
for legal reasons, this is a joke.
yeah.
If you are my boss watching this for some reason, don't worry.
If you're my team watching this for some reason, no, I didn't.
any more for season 7.
I don't think there's anything else for, like, proper season 7. We did a bunch of other stuff between the end of season 7 and now that we can go over, like, briefly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was a big
super
step for us because we've always said we wanted to do off-season stuff, and then we've never done off-season stuff. But
And we
this
have-
last year we did a bunch.
We have yet to find the right balance of off-season stuff, because actually we did too much off-season stuff.
Yeah.
Foolishly did off-season stuff this season.
I, at some point last year, started getting more involved with Fatales, because I've been volunteering in studio for their last couple of events, so I know all of the people in that community really well, which makes them much more willing to give the, like, broader JSRF bingo community chances to do weird things, and I think this is, like, the culmination of all of that. So Shovel got picked to be an ambassador because Vane was running JSRF at their last event, and all of us said, yeah, we'll produce Wild Magic Bingo. We'll put together a crowd control setup.
For me, it was so much fun doing a layout for JSRF Bingo that didn't use the JSRF style. Like, I got to do something completely different, and honestly, this is one of my favorite things I've ever made, this layout.
Yeah, it could. Like, there's style guidelines for Fatales of colors and recommendations and all sorts of things, and you just got to iterate on it. Like, you've got the purple with the geometry in the background. The player colors fit really well. Don't worry about the contrast. That's my bad.
We're working on that. Season 8.
But the whole, like, it all just had a different feel to it that we hadn't done before, and I think that's really, really cool.
And also,
So we should probably explain what Wild Magic is.
yeah, I was gonna say Wild Magic has been
uninitiated.
this very silly thing that we've been doing for years. I actually found the original message of Phospho and I talking about this in, like, early 2020, maybe mid 2020. Phospho and I had been streaming 1v1 bingo on their channel semi-regularly, and we were having a lot of fun with it, but we were like, we can make this stupider. And so Phospho was planning this, like, gimmick bingo stream, and the plan was just that we were going to use, like, the infinite jump mod, and things like that. And we kind of threw around this idea of, like, bingo, but the audience can give us extra challenges, which we then brought to the community, who made a D&D style Wild Magic table of challenges. And so we did this stream with Ace acting as, like, a DM for this bingo game, just rolling dice and giving us, like, weird random extra challenges. And so it's been this thing that we do very occasionally. And then for Fatales, we were like, we want to do something a little non-standard. And so we turned it into a crowd control option. Oh, also here we have the little, like, challenge layout. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, the buffs and debuffs, the mandatory challenges. Yeah. Yeah, every couple, we had a donation table where, like, for a $3 donation, you can force the player, one or more players, to change character, which is why Shovel is having to play as Akumu, which is a miserable
with
experience.
Akumu stats.
With Akumi stats, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, mostly we play bingo with all gum stats. This time we did not do that. It was very entertaining.
Yeah. And also, I think this run raised like a couple $100 for charity, which is always awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, Shovel in the Retro, like, at the end was like, this was one of the best events, or best sections for its stream as far as, money raised. It was really, really cool.
Yeah, and for us, it was like a proof of concept, because we were like, we want to do this, and now we have an excuse to do it.
Yeah.
And now we've got this, like, on deck. Like, we could do this again.
We talked about doing this for Bingo's birthday instead of this podcast thing, but then we waited slightly too long to, like, throw an actual stream together. So instead you get us...
Hey, let's not do more off-season stuff.
Yeah, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about the 1v1 at all? We did a 1v1 mini season. We did it all in one day, which was probably too much, but it was a lot of fun. The same 1v1 layout we've been using, except that this is the actually bingo-themed one and not the Fatals-colored one. We used the same layout for the in-person GDQ thing. I can show that very briefly. But yeah.
Yeah, just tweaked it a little bit.
No major changes here. Just...
Yeah, tech's all the same. It's 1v1, and we just wanted a quick... people wanted to play 1v1. So we were like, yeah, sure, we'll play 1v1.
Yeah.
And
We did
it all in a day. It was cool. It was enjoyable. And
yeah, it was fun.
It would be cool to do like off-season stuff like it again, because there is still an appetite for 1v1.
Yeah, I definitely would like to do something like this again, and I think we can tweak the format a little so it's a little less intense. Like, doing everything in one day was too much. I think doing like a seeding day and a playoffs day or something would be better. But we'll keep working at it.
A bit of a battle royale in the end of like some people had to drop out. Like someone wasn't feeling well. I think Yayo's power went out.
Yeah,
he had to drop out last minute.
Yeah.
Miku had to like go back and forth from work at some point in the middle of the tournament.
Yeah, it was hectic.
Was chaotic, but it was fun.
It was hectic, but it was kind of proof of concept, and it was ultimately still fun. It was also It's actual birthday, and then. I'm just showing this very briefly. We have kind of the same layout, except our camera, we brought a webcam to use for the camera feed, and it did not work. So there's just a little slideshow.
But you ran out of USB ports.
Yeah, we did not have enough USB ports to plug everything in, because we recorded all of this on a laptop in the like GDQ meetups room. Yeah.
So
it was a mess.
This is the first version of the 1v1 layout for these 3 1v1 events. So we kind of went in a weird order, but yeah, this is like the first version of the layout. And I liked it. I'd taken kind of the one that we used for season 4 and I tweaked it a little bit. But getting to see this in action, I was like, all right, I can do better than that. So I ended up tweaking it for ambassadors and then for the 1v1 tournament. Yeah.
And also just proving that we can get this working in person was really exciting. Getting the multi-connection, like, to get the event feed and stuff was kind of a nightmare, but we made it work.
Yeah, somehow like 90% of this stuff works. It took 2 hours of setup in person, which was really thrilling. But like, we did it, and now we learned so much for next time. Like, again, every time we do something, there's something we learn and something that we will be able to learn from and do better with. Like,
we're in a really good place with bingo right now. I feel like Bat said, after season 5 it was like, wow, 5 seasons, and then season 6 hit and we were like, yep, we're doing another 5 seasons.
All right, do we want to look at some clips?
Yeah, first game ever in JSRF Bingo history that wasn't the lost game. Like, this is the first official season game. Also, I love the part where Jamie just has to chill because we have no multi.
Yeah.
So it's like, what's the point? The gameplay's super trash. So there's 17 points for Neko Jacobins and 14 for 54 keys. And so this graffiti, which is a very, very close Hikage race of terrible routes, is going to come down to, like, it's going to be very close. And if I win it, it's going to be a 17-17 tie. And if Wecken wins it, she's going to put her team up 20-14, and that'll be the end of it. And this already, in game number 1 of Bingo, we already were like, oh, this is terrible.
Yeah, we definitely we were like, this needs to not happen again.
Ever.
Yeah.
So there it is. 17-17 tie because of the bingo specifically.
That's crazy.
So we just had to go in and do another game. Neither team won it. And we did basically a fresh best of 3. So this VOD is an hour and a half.
Good lord.
Yeah. And like at the time where games were slower and nobody was really used to the idea of like streaming a tournament, we were like, that sucks.
Yeah.
This is not a precedent that we want to set.
I have Phospho and Zaikumi's upset win from season 1 if we want that.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, this is one of my favorites.
Here.
I think this is my suggestion.
It was.
I think me and Bats are on commentary for this and we just kind of lose our minds.
Phospho can get both of those squares, and Zaikumi can get the graffiti.
There's still a chance. Yeah. Okay,
Well,
so Jakey's
I have
now in
gone from
FRZ.
laying back to the edge of my seat. Let's fucking watch this shit. Let's go. Did Ace just fall?
Okay. So
Oh shit.
54 Keys have completely switched this up now. So Jakey is in FRZ.
Ace going to FRZ, but Zaikumi with the advantage. And keep in
Ace
mind,
is going to
had,
FRZ.
Ace had the
Jakey's leaving
advantage in game 1.
FRZ. I like the adjustment from 54 Keys, but it might be too late at this point. We know how good Zaikumi is in FRZ. She already beat Ace once.
Oh yeah, beat Ace when Ace had an advantage in FRZ, remember?
This could be the craziest comeback, the craziest turnaround. He's got both unlocks.
I mean, where's
Yeah,
Jake
he's
at the
way,
moment?
way ahead of Jakey.
I mean,
This
Jake-
could actually happen.
Yeah, Jake's got to do the job.
I'm gonna double check my maths. Shuro Graffiti, Highway Zero Graffiti, 454 Keys. Tiles are 11 to 11, which means they do have the lead by 4 points.
4 points.
But there is still 5 points on the board. Jakey, I don't know how it's even possible to read what's going on in the other team right now, but perhaps he could go for the other soul and deny that. But
I mean,
I don't think he has any way of
what
knowing.
kind of psychopath would go for 100 meter
Yeah.
room first? You don't read that. I mean,
If
has
Jakey
he
goes to
unlocked
Brown
them?
Room and gets the soul, he wins. But
Yeah.
he wins the game. But he has no way of knowing where Phospho is.
Well,
and if
now
Phospho's
he's got a
heading to
way
Brown
of
Room
knowing.
himself.
Phospho has given it
Oh,
away.
surely now
is the race
Jakey needs
to
to go
Brown Room.
straight to Brown Room.
34,
34 tags,
47.
35 tags,
32.
to 32. This is obscenely close.
Oh
my
my
heart
God.
can't handle this.
If you need a moment to sit down, I can talk about this shit all day. This is... I mean, Zaikumi starting the third maze, getting the boost in, getting the jump.
And
Phospho
with
getting
that
Brown
soul
Room.
locked in, it is all down to FRZ Graffiti again. The run back between Ace and Zaikumi. One spray in it on our screens.
41 out of
That's the
47.
thing, like,
Ace
I don't know routes at all. So I'm just going on what I see here.
Where am
I
I
see Zaikumi
going?
drop down. That makes me think she's
I
ahead.
had the
Ace
cans. What
doesn't
am I
have the
doing?
tape area, so he's got to go and do that jump. Zaikumi's all the way at the bottom already.
42.
I love that 75% of the players on screen have changed pronouns since this aired.
I know, I was thinking the exact same thing.
There we go.
Incredible performance.
Ace has just
from
got
both
those,
teams.
but Zaikumi's already at the bottom, already getting these sprays. 43 out of 47.
I'm just enthralled by the commentary. Like, we knocked it out of the park.
So good.
Yeah, this is season 1? Like, what am I
Close this
doing?
out.
Holy this went from the fucking...
No wonder this
I had
shit
no-
caught
I
on.
thought
This
they
is
had no chance of winning.
so good.
Oh my god, this might happen.
like we know the result of it, and I'm still like, oh my god, this is so good.
And they have it!
They have it,
my
and
God!
with that, Renat take the game. They take the win, 2-1. What an incredible game!
Season 1? That's crazy.
Season one.
The fact that this is like nearly 5 years old, I'm like, wow, that was
JSRF
actually,
Bingo
like,
is so
really good.
fucking good, man.
It's so good.
We spent the last few hours talking about all the graphical changes and everything we've done to improve Bingo, but I think we need to recognise the core of Bingo is really good. Like, we're not just like putting lipstick on a pig here. We have an absolutely incredible game here.
Bingo so good. Alright, I have lots of shorter clips of us like freaking out over silly tricks, but that I think was worth watching all of.
Absolutely.
Alright, this one is from Bats.
Ace Bats. Ace Bats could actually lose a soul.
No.
For context, I picked up
You
the
have to
wrong
either
soul
go through the
on
office
the
building
wrong
or
spot.
do a reverse, like, go up the pole. Or do
Ace
that.
Bat swag
Ace
strats.
bats.
We have bats doing a trick none of us had seen before that is not hard at all.
So, as mundane as that felt at the time, I just remember being in VC with Alice, and she just asked, "What the fuck did you do?" Like, I was like, "What do you mean? What did I do? I just got the soul. Like, what?"
Yeah,
Cool.
I mean, bingo has always been like that, isn't it? It's like everyone's knowledge pooled together and then shared out. You know, we've learned, I feel like, a lot about the game from bingo, and like a lot about just the general knowledge base of the game has expanded because everyone's suddenly broadcasting these little, you know, little quirks of their gameplay, you know, little idiosyncrasies of just like, oh, I've always done this, and then everyone's like, oh, I didn't know that that was in the game.
All right, I have a series of Krabby doing cool stuff tricks, all of which have Ace on commentary.
Let's no.
With a lot of Ace just going, Krabby, stop! This one in my notes is Sewers Tech, but this is just the normal strat now.
Krabby makes it all the way up.
Oh,
Landed.
no, never mind.
Does the big old jump. And
The big jump.
oh, so that's the route. That's the.
Oh. Oh, I hate that.
Oh my God, Krabby, stop! What
The thing is, that's not even the
hell?
most disgusting
So
one.
he-
Oh, absolutely not.
The other one is, I can just describe it. It's the same unlock, but Krabby jumps down a bit early and uses the half pipe, which doesn't break a combo, to continue the points combo, and then does an air trick in the half pipe to unlock. Absolutely disgusting.
This one is cool because this is a trick that I think people still get excited about, but this was the first time we'd seen it.
Krabby doesn't have the tape.
The tricks.
Oh,
he's going for the
no.
tricks unlock into the
No.
tape.
No, Krabby, you monster.
What a way to win the game.
Yeah, this had been discussed, hadn't it?
Krabby.
And
This was a theoretical thing that we were seeing like play out for the first time.
As this tricks unlock is massive, but even if he doesn't get it, Nago is just going for SDPP special. I don't think he sees this bingo at all. Krabby, stop!
Look, I figure we can't do a bingo retrospective without some Krabby appreciation.
Krabby compilation.
yeah,
I've got one more
Biggest iterator.
for Krabby.
if there was one player who would go and do it, it's Krabby.
That's subpar. Shibuya has
Ace Bat is
special.
also here, but I don't think he has the tape yet.
No,
What?
I don't know if Krabby has a tape yet.
I'm looking at this
does.
like I have no memory of
He's
this.
gonna be right in position for tricks. No, Krabby.
No.
No, I'm disgusted. I'm disgusted on the last air trick.
Yeah, I don't know why that got clipped, but that's crazy.
Absolutely insane.
Yeah.
That was
See
just
that
like
forward timing,
making hay
like-
while the sun shines. Like, yeah,
go.
like that level of improv of being like, well, I guess I'm gonna get the soul now, and I'm just gonna do this, and it's gonna work perfectly.
Right?
I mean, that is an encapsulation of bingo itself. Like, you can learn all the good routes, you can do all of that, like, but in the end, sometimes you have to improv, and that's the coolest thing ever.
And then I have a couple of clips that are more recent. These are less crazy strategies and more just things that got clipped because they're funny.
It's a jazz race to decide, well, not quite decide the game. Well, it will decide the game if Shovel locks it in. It will just extend the anxiety if John wins this, but it is a big advantage for Shovel Claws.
87 over
15.
92. Oh, shovel!
Shovel?
No, just commit! No, you are 5 seconds ahead!
My head is about to explode.
Please do not
My head
be
is
sniping.
about to explode. There's no way Shovel
There's
just
no
baited
way
John
that
into
John just
jazz
got-
race.
The sketchiest player I've seen in my life.
Harming aura!
My
What the hell?
Yeah, okay.
Shovel goes on to win for that.
Yeah, and it
Yeah,
Could have
Shovel
won
won.
by just going jazz race, but that won with aura, and that's the important part.
with power. Alright, I have two more, and these are both JSRF Bingo classics.
This board's gonna. Oh, Miss Papa T-Rex, no, nay, no.
It's alright. They can save this.
Saved.
Saved it.
Oh, never mind.
Ooh,
I'm so scared. Hold me.
man.
Save a horse, ride a cowboy ass energy.
Hey, I forgot that's how that clip ends.
Still gets the square.
That's probably the most I've ever laughed on comms.
The iconic diva down clip. What I needed to be included is my all-time favorite JSRF bingo clip.
Tell me.
I follow this philosopher called Sun Tzu, and he wrote The Art of War. And in the first line of The Art of War, he said, "All I do is win, 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 no matter what." So I apply that philosophy every day to my life. We fucking won.
We won.
Do it.
Fucking won. I'm actually like, I'm
These kids are trash.
That's what JSRF bingo is all about to me.
That was season 3 in a nutshell, to be fair.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, beautiful, incredible stuff.
We've got a good product here.
We do. We play a good video game. Hey, the sunset. Well, I've been sitting here. Hey, I was expecting that to take 1 hour.
Yeah. All right.
There was a lot of bingo to talk about.
There was.
It shows a lot of passion and how interested and just how much it means to all of us. So also, thanks to everybody for like playing, watching, everything. It's crazy.
Also, I'm saying this so I don't forget. At the end of this, we should all introduce ourselves so that we can edit that into the beginning, because we didn't do that.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, but we can talk about the future first.
So, season 8.
Season 8?
Season 8's happening.
When do you think it... What time period are we looking at?
I am looking at the summer, is what I am picturing, because we had a very busy off-season, and we deserve a slightly longer, real downtime off-season.
And also, we're still doing things.
Also, yeah, Ace and I are doing a run at Fatales in March?
Yeah, March 9th.
And that is taking up lots of the brain power that would be going towards cooking on bingo. Specifically because we talked to the Fatales Games Committee and they were like, we like what you guys do and we want you guys to cook.
So we have to cook.
We must cook. But Season 8 coming soon. I know that we're working on some more tech stuff. I don't know if a lot of it is going to be changes that are visible to the audience or to the players, but we are streamlining our tech process in a way that I'm very excited about.
Yeah, the back end, so similar to how things got a little too out of hand in season 5, and we were starting to reach beyond our, like, the stretch of our tech capabilities, we are there in going into season 8. Like, all the cool stuff you saw added in season 7 is super, super, super awful jank, and it would break in random ways. And so what we want is to just get it iterated on in a way that it's more streamlined, and that way we don't have to spend as much time redoing stuff in the off season so we can run more events. It's all about back-end efficiency for this.
And that is so exciting. It also means that, like, theoretically moving forwards, we'll be able to have more people helping out with tech stuff, which is exciting for me as the person who is in the stream chair for every stream. But also it's exciting because I think it is always exciting to get more people involved in very hands-on ways. Yeah. And I'm excited about, like, being able to do that with our community.
That's it. That's the end of the first ever JSRF Bingo podcast. We'll see you in another 5 years. You can support us on Ko-fi. I never get it right.
Coffee.
Yeah.
You can buy us a coffee.
Like, buy me a coffee.
Yeah.
Except that you're not buying us a coffee, you're buying us a month of Google Drive storage.
You're buying us more incredible voice acting.
Yeah. You're buying Chase Becker coffee, really?
Yeah.
There's a lot of coffee involved in the production of JSRF Bingo.
This is correct. All right. See you in 5 more years.